I've got to say, guys, live out here in Fort Myers, beautiful shot. You see the Edison Theater? It is the long weekend. It feels great out here, Derek.
I tell you what, you're exactly right. And it's those storms that kind of makes things feel a little bit better outside. That's kind of the purpose of thunderstorms, is to kind of redistribute the heat in the atmosphere so it cools things off nicely once you get them in your area. We're going to see a few more for the weekend. All the storms that we had earlier this afternoon have since dissipated. We did have some showers earlier into portions of Charlotte County, but those have since dissipated, so it looks like for the rest of tonight we are going to be quiet. Now down into the 70s and 80s across the area after reaching highs in the low to mid 90s. Naples actually hitting a record high this afternoon, 94, before you guys got dumped on with those big storms that occurred right around 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. Temperatures tomorrow morning, low to mid 70s, partly cloudy skies, so it should be a great start to your Saturday. Then we're going to be watching for storms to develop once again east of us and then spread their way westward towards the coast as the afternoon goes on. An easterly flow setting up across the area. You can kind of see how it's all set up. The Bermuda high up here, easterly flow on the south side of that high. We're going to be keeping a close eye, though, later in the weekend into Memorial Day. Some tropical moisture is going to start spreading northward. That, combined with some upper-level disturbances, I think will enhance the storm chances, particularly as we go into the first 2 or 3 days of next week, which I'll show you in just a second. But you can see Saturday morning is going to start off dry. We have that light east-northeast wind. Those winds are going to continue through the afternoon. Storms are going to develop east of us, and then eventually, with the Gulf sea breeze becoming activated, like what we saw this afternoon, more storms expected. With that easterly flow, the storms are going to favor the Gulf Coast side of the state. So Highway 29 points west. Best chances for storms tomorrow afternoon and the evening like we saw this afternoon. Then for Sunday, a little bit more cloud cover, but more of the same scenario. Easterly winds, partly to mostly cloudy in the morning, storms developing east of us and then firing up during the afternoon. And I think with the combination of tropical moisture streaming into the area and some upper-level triggers in the atmosphere, call them upper-level disturbances or cold pockets aloft, that's going to create more instability in the atmosphere. And I think the coverage on Sunday afternoon will pick up a little bit. As a result, temperatures perhaps will be a little bit cooler for Sunday afternoon, but still expected to reach highs in the mid to upper 80s. So your forecast lows here for tomorrow morning, generally right around 70. Highs tomorrow reaching the lower 90s, some upper 80s in some areas before the storms arrive. And of course, things will be cooling off once those kind of do their thing and move on off. So forecast tonight, partly cloudy, 72. Tomorrow, 92. Storms developing after about 2 or 3 o'clock and then continuing through the evening hours before dissipating. More PM storms for tomorrow. Seas 2 feet or less, except within or outside of thunderstorms. Looks like those seas are going to be running about 2 feet or less, and winds will be out of the southeast at about 5 to 15 miles an hour. 7-day forecast, storm chances cranking up, particularly for Memorial Day. It doesn't look like a washout, but there are going to be more of them around, and as a result, more cloud cover, cooler temperatures, 83 the high, and then 85 for Tuesday, more storms, and then more afternoon and evening storms later next week.
During these challenging times,